Mexican cuisine is a complex, ancient cuisine. Its roots go way back to the Mayan people. Mexican is loved all over the world. It uses techniques and skills developed over thousands of years. It's created mostly with ingredients native to Mexico, as well as those brought over by the Spanish conquistadors, and also some new influence since then. In addition to staples such as corn and chili peppers, native ingredients include tomatoes, squashes, avocados, cocoa, and vanilla. And today we're going to discover everything Mexican right here in San Diego. Today we meet a man who has immersed himself in Mexican culture. We talk everything San Diego and Mexico. I try Mexican for breakfast and it's not like I thought it would be. And I can't visit this city without trying the many microbreweries here. There is literally one on every corner. And of course, I try some authentic Mexican cuisine and it's absolutely delicious. And we learn how to cook it in this Mexican restaurant from a man who's been doing it for over 30 years. San Diego is one of the biggest cities in California. Its name, San Diego, tells us a lot about its past. It was the first city visited by Europeans on what is now the west coast of the United States. Upon landing in San Diego in 1542, Juan Rodriguez Godrelo claimed the area for Spain, forming the basis for the settlement of the Alta California. In modern times, San Diego is known for its sunny days and lovely warm climate. The city sits right on the Pacific Ocean, so life here is all about the sea. The city itself is undergoing a modern transformation with brand new buildings springing up everywhere. San Diego sits right on the border of Mexico, but in so many ways there is a fusion of cultures here. So much of Mexico has spilled over into San Diego. In fact, much of the population here are Mexican. And so many of them travel over the border to work here and then go home to Tijuana, where accommodation is so much cheaper. So let's uncover this glorious city called San Diego. I'm right here in Old Town San Diego. This is the place where the city was first born. This is where the Spanish set up the original town, and the town has been preserved and looks like I've travelled back in time. I'm catching up with Chris Tafoya and talk everything Mexico and San Diego. Okay, Chris, we are in Mexico here, right?
Yes, kind of.
We're actually in San Diego.
Yeah.
But I've walked into like a time warp here, where I feel as if I'm in Mexico.
You are. So this was Mexico.
Okay.
Back in the old days, back in probably right before the Spanish-American War.
Okay.
Then it became the United States. But prior to that, it was Spain. Mexico seceded from Spain, and this was Mexico for a while here. So that flagpole over there had the Spanish flag, had the Mexican flag, and now it has the United States flag.
This town is so cool. I mean, walking around, the old buildings are here from the day when the Spanish built it, right?
Yes. All these buildings were land grants, and these individuals would have had a Spanish land grant, and that's how come they moved out here and they made it prosper.
That's amazing. So some of these buildings are like 200 years old.
Oh yeah.
So Mexico is kind of still here. I know we're in America.
Yeah.
But really, there's so much Mexico here.
So all these old adobe buildings, the walls are super thick.
Yeah.
So the architecture hasn't left here.
Yeah.
If you look up all the hills, they all have the tile, terracotta tiles. It looks like if you really want Mexico but don't want to go through the trouble of getting a passport, people usually come to Old Town. Because it literally gives, everybody sells Mexican products here. The Mexican food is outrageous. Anywhere. Actually, the taco shops in San Diego, literally will beat any Mexican food place anywhere else in the United States because it's so authentic.
What have we got here?
So this is our blood orange tea, probably our #1 selling tea in the store. It's mixed with hibiscus, which is those dark little leaves, little flowers.
Sure.
And then underneath that is rose hips, and then those other pieces are blood orange pieces.
Okay. Awesome.
Simple.
So the real blood orange.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let me try it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so refreshing. I don't know why we call that tea. It's almost like a soda. It's kind of like just so sweet and
but we had the pure can, so people can order with it.
Okay. But it just tastes so good.
Yeah, super refreshing.
Do you make this yourself?
Yes.
Right here on the premises?
Right here, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, all our teas, they're every tea that we make is like handcrafted, small batch.
Yeah.
You know, our small batch, we call it like 3 gallons, you know, which is like really small compared to like...
Okay, big tea makers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here for a couple of days.
Sure.
Where should we go and what should we do?
Okay, so I would definitely hit some Mexican restaurants. Like Mexican seafood, so we're really close to the ocean.
Yeah.
Is ridiculous here.
Okay.
So Rockin Baja Lobster would be a great place to go.
Okay.
Like if you just go over the border down by Ensenada, there's a place called Puerto Nuevo, and they'll actually cut the lobsters in half and put them right in the barbecue and grill. It's the best way, the sweetest.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite restaurants is Casa Guadalajara. The bacon wrapped shrimp and the tortillas.
Okay.
You cannot miss our tortillas.
Do they make their own tortillas?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but San Diego is famous for like small craft breweries. There's literally one in a stone's throw anywhere you go.
Is that right? The Mexican food that I'm going to try here in San Diego, how different is it from over the border? Is it different?
I'd say it's really, really similar.
Okay.
Yes. So it's definitely like TJ style. There's some taco shops where they'll have like adobada, which is like this pork, seasoned pork on a
Okay. But I really want to come get the authentic thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to get it, right?
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
Even the people that are making it are going to be Mexican too, probably.
Okay, well, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Day of the Dead is probably our biggest celebration we have here.
Yeah.
Because it is, in Mexico, it's like one of the largest holidays that they have because it's like Memorial Day, but for family members. So you remember like a past loved one, you set up, there's like a tradition in Mexico about building an altar, visiting the grave site.
Okay.
You know, that day they feel that their family members can come back.
Okay. And is that sort of steeped in Catholicism, or is that more of a...
It's like one of those combo platters.
Okay.
So like on the altar, you'll have religious figurines. Christian figurines. You'll have like skull, figurines, more of like the Mesoamerica.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a combo platter, I guess.
Wow, it's just awesome.
So yeah, and so San Diego's the same way too.
You know, it always freaks me out when I see them, when I see the Day of the Dead festivals, because you literally see like dead people walking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's actually quite scary.
Yeah. And funny because like people all the time, they come in, they walk into that store and they see the skulls. They're like, what's up with these skulls? Why? But they're smiling though.
Yeah.
And they're going, no, it's not weird. It's just really, it's
a celebration of the dead. Yeah. Which I totally get.
So people are like, oh, then they kind of like feel at ease.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of creepy walking in and see like a wall of skulls.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're like a Satanist or something, you know. I think next time I see one of those festivals, I'm not going to be fearful. I'm just going to enjoy it because I just think, this looks a little crazy to me.
It does look crazy. Like it will shock you.
Yeah.
You know, all these people dressed in skulls, faces painted, everything.
Yeah.
But really, it's the opposite of scary.
Okay.
When we return, I eat Mexican for breakfast, and it's not like I thought it would be. And I can't visit this city without trying the many microbreweries here. There is literally one on every corner. And of course, I tried some real authentic Mexican cuisine, and it's absolutely delicious. When I think of Mexican food, I normally associate it with enchiladas and tacos, but I'm about to try a specialist Mexican restaurant which only serves breakfast. I'm going to eat Mexican for breakfast. There's a sentence I thought I would never make.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
How's my Spanish?
Muy bien.
That needs improvement, right? We're doing Mexican breakfast today, which is going to be really different.
Completely.
Because, and there's a sign on the door over there that just sums up this place perfectly, which says...
There's way more to Mexican food than just tacos and burrito.
I love it. So what are we going to try today?
Today we're trying the tamales.
Yes.
It's called cazuela de tamal.
For breakfast?
It is breakfast. What we're doing with this one, it's my grandmother's recipe. They chop it up.
Yep.
But they grill it with a little bit of butter, grilled onions, smoked poblano peppers, grilled corn like they used to do it in the Mexican kitchen. When the Spanish conquistadors came into Mexico, they brought their own ways of cooking, but what they never thought is that we already had something in our mind.
Okay.
First thing that in all the Mexican cooking you're gonna see, it's corn. It's our main ingredient in our kitchen.
The tortillas.
Tortillas, tamales, sopes, tlacoyos, everything is made out of corn.
Oh, here we go. What do we got here?
Mango con tajín agua fresca. It's a mango spiced agua fresca, which is what we drink in Mexico. Instead of sodas, juice with water.
Right. Well, it's
but
actually
we add
healthier
a little bit of lime.
so much healthier than soda.
Yeah. So think it as you're tasting the actual mango, and it have a little bit of chili powder, and then
That's
a lime.
what it is. I thought it was a nutmeg or something like that.
No.
Okay, so it's chili
amazing.
powder. And on the outside of here, what have we got?
That's tajín. It's what we in Mexico we use chili as a candy.
You use it for,
So-
you use it for everything.
Yeah, good.
What are we having here?
Café de la olla.
Say that again.
Café de la olla.
Oh my gosh.
So café de la olla, it's what we used to drink. Just smell it.
Oh.
It has a little bit of cacao,
Okay, that's-
cinnamon, and clove.
That's what it is. I can smell something different. So
It's a spice coffee. It's really good. And what we usually do, the tradition is to
Paulina, that's
sweeten it up
really nice.
with a little bit of piloncillo, the coffee. And for the mornings, winter mornings are great with the smell and everything.
Do you know, I really want to encourage anybody who's watching, you've really got to try and taste things that you don't normally taste. Because you really discover things that you love that you never knew you loved.
Yes.
I've never had that presented to me, but that just tastes so beautiful. Oh,
So-
wow, this is great. Thank you,
Cazuela de
sir.
tamal in the table. Tamal de lote, which is our sweet corn tamal. Grilled tamal de lote with cotija cheese, which is a dry cheese.
Okay.
And then a little bit of a smoked poblano salsa. Oaxaqueña cream, which is kind of like a similar sour cream.
Yep.
And grilled corn and poblano peppers.
Which is?
Most of our products do come from Mexico because we're so close to the border
Yeah.
that we are lucky enough to
Oh,
have
great.
most of our...
So we really are tasting Mexico.
Yes, you are tasting Mexico in every single piece.
Oh, yeah.
Something different, huh?
This is really clever. And corn is in there as well.
Yes. Grilled corn, like we use in the streets in Mexico.
This is really good. Thank you so much for
Love to
showing
have
me
you
the
guys
food.
here.
It was
And
awesome.
welcome to San Diego.
Thanks for having me.
It would be amiss of me to come to San Diego and not try one of the many microbreweries here. The town is known for its beer brewing culture and has over 130 breweries in the city. I'm not going to try all 130 of them, but I am willing to try at least 2. I'm starting off at Mission Brewery.
There are new buildings going up everywhere. I mean, what's the economy based on here? Why is it growing so much?
San Diego has a lot of biotech and then a lot of beer.
And that's why we're here, right? Tijuana's almost like part of San Diego.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of people that go back and forth. Actually, a lot of good beer in Tijuana right now, which is cool. We actually have some Mexican beers in the ballpark right now, which is awesome.
What a great place to put a brewery right out front of the ballpark.
Yeah, this place gets really busy for all the games. San Diego's a beer city, so it's a perfect place.
It
for
really
beer.
is. The diversity in beers you can drink here is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even keep up with all the new varieties and styles going on, but hops are what San Diego are known for, but we have such a wide spectrum of beers from light to dark to all over the place.
All right, this is exciting. Okay, well, tell us what we've got in front of us here.
Okay, so we got a few different ones. This first one is going to be the Mission Hefeweizen. They do a pretty straight-on German Hefeweizen, which has a big banana and clove characteristics, so they get big banana flavor in there.
All right, so let's do the German one here.
Yep, so this is going to be low bitterness, so going to go down pretty smooth. But
You can kind of smell the aromas of the banana there.
yeah. When you're tasting beer, the smell is the first thing that, I mean, obviously you want to look at it to see, the clarity, the color.
What have we got here?
The Mission IPA, San Diego style IPA is normally going to be pretty light in color, but really aromatic as far as the hops go.
And how much alcohol content have we got here?
Around 7%.
Okay, and that one, the first one I had was...
Probably around 5%.
Okay, so I'm getting drunker as I go.
Yeah, it happens to be set up that way.
Oh wow, That's almost got like a lemony kind of.
Yeah, so depending on the hops they use with it, you're going to get kind of a citrus, fruity smell to it, and then a little bit of that same characteristic going down with some bitterness.
Wow.
So.
The taste is getting stronger as I go, right?
Yeah, so although this is kind of lined up with some light beers and darker beers, you don't necessarily go in from light to dark. It's more from least bitter to most bitter. So the next one's actually going to be the strongest out of the three. The Dark Seas, really roasty, high alcohol, but it goes down relatively smooth for being 10%.
Oh. Oh wow. That tastes like coffee.
Yeah, so big coffee. There's no coffee or chocolate in there, but just the grains and malts that they're using gives it that roastiness. And so the last one here is actually not more bitter or stronger, but a little bit different. This is their horchata porter, kind of a Mexican style drink. Yeah. And it's also on nitrogen, which is actually tinier bubbles, which is going to give it a little bit creamier of a taste to it as well.
Oh, this is a soft drink that it reminds me of. There's an Italian drink called Conotto, which it tastes very similar to that.
Yeah, the nitrogen instead of CO2 gives it that creamier, kind of smoother taste to it.
Okay, I have made my decision. I am going to choose this one. Very citrusy. It's an IPA made here, Mission, which is a stunning brewery. It's awesome.
When we come back, I'm going to try a second microbrewery and see how it stacks up. We try some real authentic Mexican cuisine and we learn how to cook it from a man who's been doing it for over 30 years. Okay, so I've tried one of the breweries here in San Diego. Let's see if this one stacks up. We're at Resident Brewing. Like many of the breweries here, it started in the owner's garage and has grown into this thriving enterprise.
Totally different place.
Yeah, a little more brew pub feel.
Okay, this is actually where they do the magic right here.
Yeah,
right?
this is Resident Brewing, and it's been around a couple years, newer place, kind of brew pub feel, restaurant on the other side, brewing here, but they do distribute.
So what's the story here? This is quite a unique story, isn't it?
The head brewer, lead guy, Coconut IPA was a homebrew that was pretty popular.
So he started in his home.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of people start making beer at home.
That's so cool, and it's obviously so popular that he's grown it into an empire. So we should talk about what you do. I mean, you are drinking beer all day, every day.
Well,
you must be a drunk.
I actually don't get to drink that much because I'm normally driving people to the places, but I do have to do a lot of research. So.
Yeah, great. Your company, so what happens? People pay you to go and take them around to try different beers?
Yeah, so Brewery Tours of San Diego, we've been doing it for a little over 10 years now, but we include the tasting. We're not just driving you to the place and letting you go free. We kind of do a little bit more informational about the process, about the beers. We know the places really well that we go to.
Good, because that's what we're going to do right now. So what have you got for us today, and where do we start and why?
All right, so I got 4 beers, although they might look pretty similar. They all have completely different tastes. So we're going to start with the least bitter and kind of work our way to a little
just
higher
like we did last time.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll start you with is their Perky Blonde. Yeah, so this one's not too hoppy like an IPA. It's really, really smooth. For especially a hot day, it's delicious.
This is great. This is great.
And you're going to taste a little bit of the maltiness, but again, it's really clean. That's just giving it a little bit of body.
This is all brewed right here, right?
Yep, everything's right here in this location. So this one's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, that's really
this
honey.
is a passion fruit goes, and it's got some fruit added to it. So
wow.
completely different. You probably haven't tasted it all day. Anything like this. So.
You can smell the passion fruit even before I've even tasted it. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's almost like drinking juice, really.
This is it's called the Walk of Shame, but it is a coffee blonde. So very similar as his first beer, but they add cocoa nibs and coffee in there as well.
Okay, great.
You can't tell, it looks really light, so you wouldn't expect it to taste like coffee.
Wow, that's a coffee taste.
Yeah, awesome taste, but you wouldn't expect it by looking at it.
That is incredible. I mean, that's coffee. I could drink that in the morning.
Yeah, there is going to be a little bit of caffeine in there as well. So.
Isn't that cool?
So this is the Vacation Coconut IPA that we were talking about initially.
This is the one that made him famous. This is kind of cool. You know, I can imagine drinking this in a resort in a tropical island somewhere. It's got that coconut kind of tang.
They call it their Vacation IPA because it gives you that feel.
Again, looks just like a normal beer. but when you taste it, it's something completely different. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for showing us around, and I'm feeling a lot better now.
I'm sure it's none of the alcohol percentage.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
no problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Rockin' Baja Lobster is a quirky look at American fusion Mexican. It's located in Old Town, and the tourists love the food here. Hello, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good, very well. I'm looking for Little Mexico.
You're in the right place.
Okay. Old Town in San Diego. It's almost as if we're in Mexico here. It just looks so cool.
Welcome to Rockin' Baja.
What are you going to do for me today?
We're gonna cook our tequila lime shrimp for you, sir.
Sounds awesome, and I'm really hungry, so let's get inside.
Let's get inside.
You're the opposite to a migrant.
That's true.
Yeah, tell us a story.
Actually, I was born in Los Angeles, and we moved to Mexico, so I spent all the time in Mexico. Only difference is like having this kind of food, you had to drive like 2 hours to get to Puerto Nuevo, Ensenada, Rosarito. And with us, we got that kind of food on this side of the border.
Yeah.
You go out and eat with the family, it's like reunion. And it's not a holiday.
Yeah.
It's just go and
That's
have
what you do.
fun, eat some good food.
Where we are right now is right in the middle of Old Town. I mean, and this is kind of a bit of an institution here. I mean, there's a big sign when you come in, the Rockin' Baja Lobster. It tells you straight away that the place is rockin'.
Puerto Nuevo experience, like margaritas, music, live music, good food.
Well, thanks for having us. This is amazing. This is a cool dish. A bit of shrimp.
That's the tequila lime shrimp. If you stop by San Diego, you gotta visit one of our locations and try this. A lot of fresh ingredients to make it better, to taste like Puerto Nuevo style.
Well, it looks amazing. I want to give it a try. Do I have to use a fork?
No, I mean, it's a Mexican food. You gotta use your hands.
Oh, wow. That is really good. Oh my gosh. You really taste the butter.
Yep.
And it's almost, and it's a real cream sauce.
And at the end, it will give you the little taste of tequila.
Yeah, just slightly. Yeah, it's really, really delicious. All right, let's hoe in here. I'm gonna eat some lunch here. This is awesome. Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome.
It's good stuff. Coming up on the show, we try some real authentic Mexican cuisine, and we learn how to cook it in this Mexican restaurant from a man who's been doing it for over 30 years. I'm in Old Town, and I'm about to see how real authentic tortillas are made from ladies who've been doing it their entire lives. And I'm also going to watch this chef make his favourite Mexican dish. He's been doing it the same way for 30 years.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. We're going to have some fun today because we're going to have a traditional, authentic Mexican meal.
Yes, we're gonna serve a tan pequeña dish. It's gonna melt in your mouth. It's delicious when you use all the ingredients together, the steak, guacamole, salsa, pico de gallo, rice, and beans.
Maybe some cocktails.
Of course.
We're in Mexico, right?
Of course, you're gonna love it.
Let's do it. So we're making some
Flour tortillas.
flour tortillas. Okay, so what's the process here? How do we make this happen?
Those tortillas, they start to roll over.
Was this something that the Spanish brought to Mexico, or was this something that
The
was
Spanish are brought to Mexico after the conquest in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And they brought, the cattle and also the flour.
So how long has Senora been doing this for?
She has been doing the tortillas at least for 25 years.
Wow. This is your trade.
Yes.
Wow.
500 tortillas daily. That she does, sometimes even more.
A day?
A day.
500 tortillas a day?
¿Cuántas tortillas son las 500?
Oh my gosh.
600.
That is incredible. You're responsible for all these fat people.
Yeah. That's right. Tampiqueña is a place in Mexico that they do the carne asada with simmer in oil, olive oil,
Amazing.
salt.
So what sort of red meat is this?
This is tri-tip.
Only the best, no?
Very good, very good.
So how long do we cook it for? Do we want it well done?
It's about 2 minutes, 1 minute and a half, one side. I was born and raised in Mexico City, and I got my culinary background in Mexico, and then I became to the United States in the late 70s, and I started to cook.
And what are these vegetables here? We've got onion, and what's the other one? Is it pickle?
Well, we have achiote, garlic, salt,
Okay.
a lime juice.
Okay, that's on top, right?
We're gonna make the Tampiqueña dish. It's one enchilada,
Okay.
rice, and we're gonna put over the milk. In Mexico, we can just do like this.
Oh, wow.
Traditional Mexican cuisine.
Yeah.
It's a piece of steak, enchilada, refried beans, and Spanish rice, guacamole, pico de gallo, and the garnish.
I think one thing left to do, and that's to eat it. Shall
Let's
we do
eat it. Let's go, please.
Okay, salsa. Now this is the food of the gods for Mexican people, right?
Absolutely.
If this is not right, nothing is right.
Exactly. That's a good start. Use all the traditional local ingredients,
Okay.
and they start to use, for example, the Mother Nature gives them tomatoes, cilantro, onions,
Yeah.
garlic. And they start to make in a stone they call molcajete
This was in Mexico?
in Mexico, and South America. But the people that will remain in the villages making the tamales to the warriors.
Yeah.
And the warriors use it like a lunch.
Okay.
So in the middle of the war or before the war, they were just eating because they have no place to go and eat. And this is a Cadillac. This is a different kind of margaritas. The Cadillac is one of the most popular margaritas that we serve at the restaurant.
And that was originally from Los Angeles, right?
Los Angeles, they started to play with the margaritas.
Let's try it. What do we do? And then I just drink it?
Yeah, stir it and drink it.
Oh.
See the color has like magic, like
It's
magic.
beautiful and creamy now.
See?
So was there alcohol in there before you
Yes.
put that in? So it's got double now.
Yep. And when you put this, it's going to another level.
Because that's grand, what's that? That's a...
Gramani.
Yeah, for sure. That is actually a bird bath.
Yeah.
I can imagine a bird going in that. So what have we got in here?
Okay. This is a traditional, like local from Casa, Guadalajara, making something amazing. Because people like the drinks, but they fall in love to the presentation.
This is a drama. This is the whole story, right?
I know. Strawberry flavor and the margarita as a base. So it's very fruity.
It's not sure, but it's really sweet.
This is a signature drink that we have in Casa. It's a margarita, but we just put red wine. So it's when
I love red wines. This is actually going to be perfect.
this is something amazing. And they call sangria.
Oh my
See?
gosh. I just found my new drink.
This is the
Half
best.
margarita, half red wine.
You know, besides, can you imagine a Tampiqueña dish with a sangria?
Perfect. All right, let's try the enchilada, the one you made before.
Okay, the enchilada, it's a tortilla simmer and filled with cheese. We do. We usually combine two kinds of cheese, Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese together.
There's so much flavor going on there.
Absolutely.
It's a very full flavor.
You have to wait for the beans.
Okay.
Now you have to try the beans. But the pinto beans are
They're very meaty.
amazing. It's fresh. We don't use, as I told you, no additives, no preservatives. It's only beans, some soybean oil, and some garlic, and salt. That's it.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining us. Next time on United Plates of America, we talk about what unites us over eating some delicious food.